Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Wednesday, September 16th. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we see a very largish white-bodied candle here today. The white body represents momentum to the upside, net momentum to the upside, and a good strong follow through from the build of momentum off the 1955 level of support. The buyers have closed with control as they did for the previous day's trading and shown some decent commitment to taking this market higher. Importantly, we've seen the buyers able to break out up above the Kijun-sen indicator, the pink line here, and this breakout suggests that we've seen the market now transition into a bullish phase in the medium-term time frame, as well as having already established a bullish phase in the short-term time frame by breaking out up above the Tenkan-sen indicator about 4 or 5 days ago. Problem for the buyers here may be the round number 2000 resistance, and that's an area that we should be watching very, very closely. If we see strong bullish activity up above there, then we could see the market trade higher, but what we'd like to see for a continuation of this trend to the upside would be a solid bullish close up above there, and then we could see the market testing all the way back up to around this 2040 area. In terms of the longer term time frame, we are still trading down below the Ichimoku cloud, so still a negative bias in that longer term time frame. But we do have price action moving back towards that, so the market was in very strong disequilibrium down at these levels, and we have been attempting to retrace back. And now that we've seen the market leave this congestion area, there is a possibility of the market retracing even more substantially into this very strong first time frame downtrend from the end of August. Now, just looking at that pattern that we had, and something of a symmetrical triangle, ascending triangle, hard to describe exactly what it was, but the important thing is the bullish close up above the upper barrier, and that suggests that that pattern is completed, and our target will be up here around the 2113 level, and that includes the market trading through the Ichimoku cloud. Now, I'm not too sure whether we're going to trade up there all too soon. Probably over the next couple of weeks we may. But the actual cloud does move further down, so the resistance at the Ichimoku cloud will actually move closer to where the market may be trading. But that is the target. It's the depth of the triangle projected up from the breakout. Now, as I've mentioned, that round number 2000 is very close, and that could be the important barrier that stops this market reaching its target, and it could see the market fall apart and then come back and trade back to within the congestion area. So we should be watching 2000 very, very carefully. Just looking at the bands with the S&P, and here previously we saw the market trading through that middle band, and previously where the middle band was holding as resistance and the market was attempting to sell off, the breakout for yesterday's trading suggested that we had some strong upside momentum in this market from the buyers, and there was a good possibility of seeing some strong follow through. If we do see the market trade higher for the next day's trading, the upper band may now hold as resistance, so that's an area that we should be watching closely. It's about 2006, and we could see some selling coming in off there. But if we see the market close up through there in a bullish manner, it may highlight the transition of this market back to a strong bullish trend in the medium term time frame. Next to the Dow 30 in a similar type of candle, a white-bodied candle, buyers in control for most of the trading day, finding some resistance around 16,735, breaching up through the resistance at the 16,588 level. If the buyers are strong enough, they may go on with this move. They'll need to breach through that resistance that we closed at today, and then the 16,805 level. But we do have a bearish market in the longer-term time frame still, so if we do trade up to those higher levels, we may see the market come off. Not going to get there within the next couple of days, but over a period of time we could eventually trade through the cloud. The Chica span is below the corresponding price action, so that's suggesting we still have negative momentum in this market, and that the downtrending phase in the longer term time frame is still quite valid, but the bullish breakout above the Kijun-sen from the previous day set the tone for the market for today, and the strong follow through here suggests that we may have transitioned into a strong uptrending phase in that medium term time frame. Next to the Nasdaq 100, and a bullish candle here, a smaller body than the previous, but not too much of a reduction to have us worry. So the momentum here in net terms is still with the buyers. They've closed with control, and importantly the market has closed the window that was opened up previously, just trading through there with some price rejection, but the close at the end of today's session has failed to finish beyond the window, and suggesting that we still could see some resistance there. With the closing of the window, the market trading through the window, it really does weaken the window, but the failure to close above there suggests that the window may still have some effect on halting the market. We are trading within that highlighted zone of support and resistance, and that extends just up to above the 4395 level, up around the 4400 level. So that's an important barrier for this market if we do see strong follow through. But we do have a bullish market in both the medium and fast term time frames, not supported by the Chica span, and we do still, as with the other equities markets, have a bearish market in that longer term time frame. But we actually see our price action here in the Nasdaq 100 trading closer to the Ichimoku cloud, so a bit more bullish activity here in the technology sector with the Nasdaq 100. Just looking at the bands here with the Nasdaq 100, and here we see the market trading at the upper band, so a little bit more advanced than the other equities, and this really does highlight how we have more strength in this market than the S&P and the Dow. Now the upper barrier here today is held as an area of resistance, and this is going to be very, very important trading for the next day. The question is, are we going to see some selling come in off this resistance here, or are the buyers going to breach through the upper band? Now, we don't preempt the market, we wait and we react to the market. If we see a strong bullish breakout up above that upper band and then some strong bullish follow through, it could be a good sign that the market may be transitioning into a new bullish phase in that medium term time frame. If we do see selling coming in, we'll be watching around that middle band at 4267 to hold a support. Just taking a quick look at some stocks, and the first is Tesla. TSLA is the code, and here we see Tesla bullish in both the medium and fast term time frames. There's been some solid buying in this market over the last couple of days, in particular over the past week, with the Tenkan-sen holding as support, and the market now is attempting to break through the top of the Ichimoku cloud. We're seeing some resistance come in there about the 262.25 level, but if the buyers are strong enough, we could see the market trade higher. We are seeing in the relative strength comparative, Tesla outperforming the overall market, but if we look at momentum of that relative strength just over the last couple of days, it has been coming off, and it is relatively weak and may start trending down. So the relative strength here may start to drop off, and that could be in line with the market finding some resistance here and just coming off a little bit. If we do see a bullish breakout up above the cloud and then see strong follow through, and if we see that momentum in relative strength start to kick up again, we could see the relative strength comparative continue much stronger. Next to Activision, ATVI is the code, and here we have a very, very strong stock trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators. Looking at the weekly chart as well, trading well up above each of the Ichimoku indicators, strongly outperforming the overall market for quite some time. Momentum of relative strength is very strong. And back to the daily, we see a bullish candle, the buyers in control, something of an extreme candle, and just looking a little overextended in depth away from both the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen. So if we see any sign of weakness in this market, we could see some selling come in, and looking to the Tenkan-sen trading at 29.28 to hold as strong support. But relative strength comparative here is moving higher, and in particular over the last couple of days, the momentum here is ticking up quite strongly, and volatility is starting to trend up quite strongly off a cyclical low, so suggesting we could see some strong follow through in ATVI. Next to Nike, NKE, and we were waiting for the breakout up above the Ichimoku cloud, and the market traded to there yesterday on a bullish candle, and today a good bullish breakout, buyers in control and some strong commitment. Something of a weakening in momentum to the upside with the reduction in the size of the body, not too much to be of great alarm, but looking at relative strength comparative here, still trading outperforming the overall S&P 500. Momentum of relative strength is trending up very strongly. What we want to see here is some strong follow through, but we do have some strong resistance, potentially strong resistance close by at the highs of this candle here at 116.05, and then potentially strong resistance at the swing high here at 117.72. Next to Royal Caribbean Cruises, RCL is the code, and another strong performer trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators. The Chica span is above the corresponding price action, suggesting strong upside momentum in this market. Buyers in control, looking a little overextended in depth away from the cloud. If we do retrace, should find strong support at the Tenkan-sen at 92.32, but relative strength comparative is very, very strong, performing outside of the upper band, as is momentum of relative strength, and volatility is trending up very, very strongly off a cyclical low, and suggesting that we could see a continuation of this strong trend to the upside. And Campbell's Soup, CPB, is the code, and very strong bullish activity off the market, finding some support at the top of the Ichimoku cloud for about 5 trading days from last week and into this week. The Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen are both pointing up very sharply, and we've seen a very large extension to the size of the white body. This may be something of an extreme type candle, and we tend to see markets want to rest after these extreme type candles, so just look for perhaps some congestion or something of a retracement. No sign of that happening yet at the moment, however, with the buyers strongly in control, but relative strength comparative is extremely strong, trading well outside of the upper band. Momentum of relative strength is also extremely strong. Not looking too overextended in the depth away from the cloud or the other Ichimoku indicators, and the Chica span has just moved above the corresponding price action over the last couple of days, but the thing here is to watch the next candle because this has been an extreme day.